Hi, this is Dr. Micah Ries from Ries Chiropractic and Associates and Riverside Chiropractic CA.com. And I just wanted to do a special blog today about the bill that's been going on, the SB277, which can potentially change the health of our kids, change the health of our families, as well as our community. And that's why I'm very passionate about this. And I just wanted to share with you a letter. I'm just going to read it to you verbatim of what my wife, she's been very active, and I want to give her a shout out for all of her work with stopping this bill. But I wanted to read her letter to you just so you have a better understanding. The bill thus far has passed through the Health Committee as well as the Education Committee. Now it's going on to the Judiciary. So I wanted to read that to you here. So. Dear Senator, my name is Jamie Ries. I'm a mother of 3 and an attorney. I'm writing to express my strong opposition of SB 277. Since the bill was introduced in February, I have sent hundreds of emails and letters to senators, assembly members, school board members, city councilmen, and California parents explaining the extensive problems with the bill and urging people to take a stand against the bill with me. This is yet one more of those letters, but I hope you will read it to the end. With respect to senators, my pleas have fallen on deaf ears, save a few. I was fortunate enough to meet with my Senator Roth, personally on April 1st, a group of constituents, and expressed to Senator Roth our legitimate concerns about a bill that would require every school-age child to undergo a series of medical interventions with known and documented risks, thwarting principles of parental choice and informed consent. And he understood that this is not the type of law that California needs. Similarly, I met with Senator Leva's staff on April 13th and again on April 17th and explained that the bill would have a desperate impact on lower-income families and single parents, and that it would collapse under the burden of strict scrutiny because of the success of AB 2109, a far less restrictive law already accomplishing the stated goals of SB 277. She agreed. Then I met with Senator Runner's staff on April 21st in Lancaster. With some of her constituents, I explained that Senator Pan's pockets theory was not supported by the data collected by the California Department of Public Health, because the department simply does not collect information on any single antigen individual vaccine received by a child who was a personal belief exemption. Thus, Senator Pan has no way of knowing whether a particular geographic area with high personal belief rates has been vaccinated for any specific disease, and for that reason the number of personal belief exemptions does not reflect how valuable any pocket of the population is to a specific disease. Each senator that I have met with to date has voted no on SB 277 in committee. 2 out of the 3 of them were Democrats. My point being, if I could meet with you in person or even with your staff, I'm fairly certain that I could make you think twice about the merits of the bill. Not because of my incredible persuasive abilities, but because a clear and concise presentation of the facts demonstrates that this bill is unconstitutional, discriminatory, unnecessary, overreaching, and fatally flawed. It's tough because I know that the likelihood of this letter being read beyond the words strong opposition to SB 277 is slim to none. You probably already know how you'll vote on this bill. And if it's a yes, that's unfortunate for California and unfortunate for you. Because you are missing the opportunity to be on the right side of history, to separate yourself from the ugliness of a perceived majority who thinks it's okay to treat partially vaccinated children like second-class citizens, who think it's okay to take away their rights to access public education because of deeply held religious beliefs or conscientious objection to one or more vaccine. As a student of history and law, I would ask, have policies of segregation and exclusion served the country well? Are these principles part of our proud history and heritage, or do we use them to caution our children about the dangers of repeating our grateful failures as a nation, lest we forget? Senator, this bill is not preserving public health. We all know that the measles outbreak is over. We all know that 136 cases of measles between December and March, none of which resulted in death, and less than 1/3 of which occurred in school-aged children, never actually amounted to a health crisis. and certainly not a health crisis that would be addressed by forcing vaccinating the school population. As Senator Huff pointed out at the hearing before the Senate Education Committee on April 15th, unless we start asking for immunization records at our borders, there's no way to prevent small outbreaks like this from occurring. And SB277 will not do anything to prevent outbreaks in the future. This bill is also not about increasing vaccination rates. California's vaccination rates look like this: 90.4% fully vaccinated, plus 6.9% conditional entrants who became fully vaccinated, equals a grand total of 97.3% of kindergartners who are now fully vaccinated. How much higher are we looking to get that number? Instead of moving California toward its stated goals, protecting the community from disease and increasing vaccination rates, SB 277 will perpetuate several discrimination on a segment of the population in a myriad of ways. The laundry list of illegalities includes, but is not limited to, the following. It violates the California Constitution, which assures that the education is a fundamental right for all school-aged children in California. It violates principles of freedom and religion as provided by the United States Constitution and California Constitution. It violates the Individuals with Disabilities Education Act and fails special needs children with PVEs. It constitutes illegal segregation because it makes certain educational facilities and resources available to vaccinated children only and excludes unvaccinated or partially vaccinated children from said educational facilities and resources. It violates the Equal Protection Clause of the U.S. Constitution. It violates the long-held medical ethics, standards, and informed consent as described in Opinion 8.08 of the American Medical Association. It violates the Nuremberg Code because it removes informed consent. As an attorney who practiced special education law for several years, one of my greatest concerns about the bill is direct conflict with state and federal laws protecting special education clients. The idea and corresponding law requires a school district to provide each child who qualifies for special education in a free, appropriate public education in the least restrictive environment. Least restrictive refers to a student's classroom placement. California courts have held that if 2 classroom placements are determined by the student's IEP team, the appropriate classroom placements of the school district must offer the least restrictive of 2 placements. A regular education classroom will always be less restrictive than a special education classroom. SB 277 will require all unvaccinated and partially vaccinated special education students to be pulled from their classroom placement and to attend school at home. Removing a child with special needs from their current placement without evaluation or consideration for the child's individual needs would be catastrophic for the child's academically or emotionally, and would cause the school district to violate state and federal law in 2 significant ways. First, a school district cannot unilaterally change a special education student's placement. The decision must be made by the child's IEP team following an assessment of the child's unique needs. Second, the school district would be in violation of LRE requirements. SB 277 cannot be reconciled with long-standing special education laws. As a member of the Senate Judiciary Committee, I urge you to take a close look at the implications of this bill for special education students. But I also urge you to look closely at all the legal issues raised by the thousands of emails and letters that you are certainly receiving in opposition to SB 277 every day. As you have undoubtedly seen from the committee hearings that have already transpired, a substantial number of California parents are vehemently opposed to the bill, and for good reasons. We are not just parents, however, we are also voters. And we also remember the position you take on this bill, especially Election Day. For all the foregoing reasons, I respectfully ask you to vote no on SB 277. Thank you for your consideration and for your service to the state. Sincerely, Micah Ries, mother and attorney. So I just wanted to share that because, again, my goal, my passion is to really create healthy individuals, which creates healthy families, which then creates healthy community. And in order to change the health of the community, we need to be aware of issues like this. So if you have any questions, if you're listening to this for the first time, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, like me on Facebook, and go to my website, www.riversidechiropracticca.com. And if you have any other questions, health concerns that I might be able to help you out with, my phone number is 951-359-1229. Thank you and take care.